You, yes you can literally change your entire life by changing how and why you wake up in the morning. I bet you press the snooze button. I bet that's the first thing you do. The second thing is you grab your phone. You scroll, maybe you jerk off, that's a bit rarer, that's what I did. And then, what would you do? Then you get out of bed at the very last second when you know that you'll be late for work. Maybe sometimes you even are late for work. What do? You grab a coffee. While your hormones are still trying to regulate themselves, you're trying to wake yourself up too quickly. You grab a coffee and you leave the house because you know you're going to be late. I know that that's what you do because I lived like this. That's what I did for about 5 years while I was at school. It's not good for you, and I did not live happily. I had not depression, but I was not very happy with my life, and I definitely did not want to live like that for the rest of my life. So in this video, I'm going to try and teach you how you can make a morning routine that suits you specifically, and that becomes a habit for you, that you will just do habitually. So what you're doing currently, by not having a morning routine, if that's for you, if that's what you're doing, if you don't have a morning routine, you're literally resisting your own life. You view it as you have to get up in the morning. But if you changed it to you get to wake up in the morning, then wouldn't life be a lot better? You get to do these things, you don't have to, you get to. A good morning routine, structured around you specifically, can give you the amount of purpose and satisfaction with life that I'm assuming you really want. I mean, that's why you're here, isn't it? That's why you're viewing this video. Before this, I was struggling, right? I didn't have this. I was like you. I hit the snooze and I didn't do any of the good things for yourself. I want to help you. I want you to progress. You're just a younger version of me. I want you to be great. I love you. So we start with the foundation. Now the foundation is just these 5 different elements that I found are the most helpful in building your well-being for the morning and making you more confident, more happy, more excited to get up in the morning. They start you off right. So these are reading, exercise, meditating, journaling, and planning. Now, you ask me, what are these things? What are the 5 things we do? Well, first of all, reading. Reading is just learning, not necessarily like reading a storybook, but reading something that will help you, reading something that develops your brain, like for instance Atomic Habits or philosophy or deep work, something that will make you better at living pretty much. Now the second one is exercise. Exercise, you just have to do some stretches or some push-ups, something that will elevate your heart rate, something that pushes you beyond what you want to do in the morning, right? Something that gets you going. Now the third is meditating. Meditating, you don't have to do it for long. You can do it in 1 minute meditating, you can do 5 minutes of meditating. If you want to do an hour of meditating, you can. This is just to give you some silence, somewhere where you can just have no thought. It relaxes you. It sets your mind right for the start of the day. The next thing is journaling. So journaling is just getting down your thoughts on paper. What you've been thinking about, what you dreamt about, anything. It's just a really helpful way of getting your emotions out so you can read them, so you can see them clearly, and then understand them better. I found this to be very, very beneficial in my relationship specifically. And the last one is planning. So this is just planning your daily habits. So for me personally, the plan is not so much a rigid step-by-step, more as something that I want to get done in a day. For instance, it could be recording videos, or it could be I want to script this new video, or I want to find a new book to read so that I can have an idea of what I want to script in my next video. You know, stuff like that. These 5 steps are just the foundation of your morning routine, and I'm going to help you build a mold out of it. So this is the mold now. So we first have to start by listing, or scoring, your current habits, what you currently do in the morning. This is your current habitual routine, right? This is something you do consistently. It's not different every morning. So I want you to get a piece of paper, like a journal or something, just a pen or a pencil, and come and write with me. Okay, so pause the video now if you need to get that stuff, just so you can do it with me. But so pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to write out the main elements of our morning now. So now what we're going to do is we're going to write a plus next to the things that are good, a equal sign next to the things that are okay, that's just what you have to do in the morning, and a minus sign next to the things that we don't want to do anymore. Okay, so do this with me now. So okay, so you can see here that the man that I've created, I'm going to call this guy Jeff's morning routine. So, poor Jeff wakes up and then scrolls on his phone, takes a shit, jacks off, then he gets coffee, gets dressed, shoes on, and leaves house. Not a very nice morning in my opinion. That doesn't sound like a very productive or optimized morning. So, next to any of the minus ones that we have here, we want to now create a new scorecard that incorporates some of the stuff that we have in the old one, but replacing the minus and some of the equal signs with plus habits, right? So the plus habits would be exercise, meditation, journaling, planning, and reading. Okay, so we're getting a new scorecard. So we wake up in the morning. That's definitely something that we just have to do. Otherwise we can't do much else. So that's an equal sign. Alright, so we have this new thing now, right? So I'm going to scorecard it now, and you can do the new thing with me. So we wake up, that's an equal sign, take a shit. Okay, so you can see now that we've actually managed to replace a lot of the either negative or just equal signs ones with either equal signs or more pluses. So we've got 4 more pluses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's fucking good. It's a very good morning routine in my opinion. That's pretty good. That's kind of close to what I do. We've got this morning routine. That's great. That's awesome. That's a molded routine. That's something that you want to do. How the fuck do we make you do it? How the fuck do we make your brain remember to do it each morning? Well, I'm very glad you asked, because we have a method called habit stacking. And habit stacking is just making the brain remember one task after the next based on a cue from the previous task. Pretty much, the cue is something that your brain remembers as a thing to start a habit. So it starts off as cue, then craving, then response, then reward. Now, to start a habit off, you just got to start with the cue. The cue is something that will remind you to do the habit. So, pretty much, if we think about waking up, we think about eyes open, and we immediately just want to take a shit, right? Take a shit. We go take a shit. Now, while our pants are down, we can use our pants being down as a cue, so then take them all the way off, and then have a cold shower. Now, once we get out of the cold shower and we get dressed, we put our deodorant on. Let's say we have the book right next to our deodorant. So once we put the deodorant back down, then we can start reading. We can sit down in our bed and start reading, just a chapter. Then once we put the chapter down, once we put the book down, then we can meditate. We can meditate for an hour. As soon as you put the book down, that's the cue for you to close your eyes and go, and just meditate for like a minute or 5 minutes, anytime you want. So to finish this video off, I just want to give you 2 little quick tidbits that will help you even further in your morning routine that you've already built for yourself. So number 1 is just the to-do list. So with the to-do list, instead of having to do like the planning in the morning, you can actually do it at the night time. This requires a little bit of discipline, but pretty much just before you go to bed, you just grab your book out, and all you gotta do is you just gotta plan. This is what I do each night before. So I just plan for tomorrow's work. So that was writing out a video script, then beginning research on how I have no enemies, then training for kickboxing, and then end the day by journaling and planning for the next day. So that was just what I wrote down for the 1st of the 8th, 2023. that was just one of my things. It's said that 1 minute in planning saves 10 minutes in the doing. I fully believe this. Anytime I plan, it just saves me so much time during the day of fucking around. It's really, really good. Now, the second tidbit is creating a habit tracker. Now, you've got scorecards, you've got your habit stacking. You need to record it somewhere, right? You want to have this little tracker of what you're doing each day. So I've actually got one up in my wall. It's just my morning routine tracker. I just wrote one the other day, and I actually forgot to do it today. But as you can see, it's just my little morning routine. So it says 6 a.m, then learn, then eat the frog, sun, exercise, work. That's the main things I do. Eat the frog just means doing the hardest task of the day, just so you can get over and done with. So I pretty much just do all that, and that's just a habit tracker. That's how I keep track of my morning routine. It's really beneficial way of keeping track of your tasks and making sure that you're on top of it. Regardless of your past, you can always change something in your future by doing something new in the present. Your results will just depend on who you intend to be as of right now. You got this, bro. I love you. Ciao, ciao.